Hello friends, how we doing today? Just getting started. We've got a full update ready for you on the cat, for those who are interested in the cat. And of course the garden that we have, the indoor-outdoor garden areas. Mostly indoor at the moment because it's not fully planted outside yet since there's, been cold snaps and stuff still. But it's been plenty sunny lately. As you can see, I'm getting lots of sun. I had to drop this down because there's so much sun coming in. Ah, sun! It's crazy, it's all over the place. How are we doing, Connie and Justin's Oregon homestead? Nice to see ya. Welcome. Tick-a-doo, tick-a-doo. Pretty good. Water in the garden, watching the YouTube. Alright. GLG's in the house. How you doing? Good to see ya. So my new background here is our new recording booth, actually. This is just a little home booth set up to record things. Yeah. And I stole the mic out of it. So I have the mic here. Hey, what's up? Yeah. But yeah, we just put the mic back in there and boom. Instant little mini recording booth. Pretty cool. Haha. So yeah, make my show and make voiceovers sound even sexier here in the house. Oh yeah. I'm mainly just gonna act goofy for a little bit and see how you guys are doing, in that hopes that we'll have a few more people show up before we get started on the big round. Because I got lots to cover and I don't want anybody else who's gonna show up live to miss it. But it looks like it's ready to rock. That's good to see. I will get the video prepared. I got a nice video for you guys ready to rock again. It's gonna be very cool. Oh yeah. Yeah, perfect. Alright. My video's ready to rock. Woo! So it's been crazy the last few weeks, as you guys may have noticed, as you follow my channel, that I haven't been posting anything recently. Nothing last week at all. And it's been a little bit since my last official video. It's not that I haven't been working on the channel, it's just like little things here have kind of slowed things down. And my wife's been busy, so the graphics I need for the show haven't come around as fast, and I've been busy with some various things. And so I've still been writing new scripts, I've still been editing stuff. I've got 2 videos pretty much in the bank ready to go. I'm just waiting for final touches on them. So the history of Ginger and the mythology of Ginger are both just about ready to go. I mean, I am this close to having them finished, so I'm going to be releasing those very soon. And not too long after them, I just finished a couple coriander cilantro scripts. And I'm working on the history of coriander cilantro right now as well. So mythology, that. Why does it smell and taste bad? Script all about that as well. So GLG asked, what are you up to these days? I've been working on my garden. Yeah, well, this is what I've been up to. I've been busy with various little things, little jobs and such, like some corporate stuff, and finally we're able to have, it's here in Britain, we're finally able to have people over, which is awesome. So that is another reason I haven't been, I guess I could say I'm behind, is because I actually went out and just took some time to do things and live life. So we actually had friends out for a little garden party here for one day. We met with my aunt a few weeks ago as well. And we went over to a friend's house for a garden party outside there as well. So we're taking full advantage of the lockdown finally opening over here in Britain. So, woo! Oh my god. Sorry, I'm biting my nails here because there's one like popping up like this, and I just can't stand that. So now my nail looks real ugly. Just what you came here to see. Okay. Woohoo! But all right. Let's see, who is anybody else in the house? It says I got 5 people now, so hopefully there's some other people hiding around here so we can start talking about the other things. So Tolkien is doing very good. My wonderful cat. I can bring up some stuff for him as well. I should yeah, let's bring up a couple of these here photos for you to see. I'll just put them all side by side. So you can see my wonderful cat in his natural state. Taking advantage of our area. Here you go. Here's Tolkien being Tolkien. There you go. Just a couple of quick photos of Tolkien. He's active as well, but it's more fun to take photos of him while he's in this fun little curled up state and stuff. The first one is him he loves, we call him the Spartan kitty, you know, because he is not one for frills. He likes just sitting on this coffee table, bare nothing. We got like a nice little cat bed for him. He's like, no, just give me that plain table. That's where I want to lay down. That's all I need. Give me the bare floor. That's all I need. Yeah, that's our Spartan kitty. He's like, cat tree, pshaw. I just need the bare floor, and that's all I need. My water and my bare floor. But yeah, he gets in these cute positions that you can't. How can you not love these cute positions? That's our cute kitty. We have a little video of him hiding in here too I can bring up. There he is, sleeping on the bed. Yay! That's our Tolkien. Enjoying the bed. But yeah, he's in much better shape. We just took him to the vet today to recheck his levels. So his potassium levels and his thyroid levels. And she says he looks great overall. They clipped his nails for us. And I guess the main thing is his weight's gotten better too. He's doing his little dreamy paw thing here. Twisted, tricky. There it is. And he is basically, yeah, I think he's pretty much back to normal. Hopefully the tests will say that. His weight has gone back up as well. So he was like under 3 pounds or 3 kilograms. And now he's back over that again. He's like 3.3, I think. So he's gained back a good amount of that. And we first looked at the gain and we're like, is that okay? And she's like, oh no, that's good. Because he was, you know, when we first brought him in, he was looking rather emaciated, which was scary. So yeah, now he's looking great, doing good. Very happy about that. Hi, Candy's Garden. Good to see you. Woohoo. Oh, Oregon's going back on a bit of a lockdown, is it? Oh, that's a shame. And Connie and Justin saying they're locking down again. GLG's vaccinated. Congratulations. I got my first vaccination shot. I'm waiting for my second. Connie says, and Justin say they love cats. Worried about lots of people's outdoor cats coming up missing in our area. Yeah, that happens. We're very happy. We looked for a cat that was more an indoor cat because we've heard lots of these horror stories of people like, we've got an outdoor cat, and like, oh my gosh, they're gone now, and we can't find them. Please help us to find our cat. And we're like, we don't want that to happen. So, yes, we looked very hard for a cat that fit our parameters and was not so much an outdoor cat because we are near a reasonably busy road and far too easy for them to get in trouble around here. There's more dogs than cats in our little area. So, yeah. Glad that he doesn't really care about going outside either. He's very much happy just being inside and enjoying his food and enjoying his naps and fun with us. And yeah. Candy says, it seems like one of my cats before she gets aggressive and decides to attack me. I mean, the sleeping, like just, you know, she's sleeping, but then it's like, oh, I'm not really sleeping. Aha! Something along those lines. I don't know. Awesome. So yeah, that's the basics of what's going on with Tolkien. Doing very well. So we can move on to the garden. Let's talk garden. So first thing I want to talk about is this area out here. This is the front little mini garden area, which, as you saw, if you saw my March indoor garden update, you can see that it got beset by an ungodly amount of these particular flowers, which people thought were hyacinths. So this is where they were in March. And you can see they had already overwhelmed my planted rosemary and lavender, unfortunately. And you can't even see them, they're so huge. But now, ta-da! We know what they are. They are bluebells. I actually had a visit from our landlord, and he said, yeah, they're basically all French and English bluebells that are hiding in here. And yeah, they're looking fantastic. They're very, very beautiful. Really love the way they look. Nice close-up of them here. Check them out. Those bluebells are beautiful. Beautiful bluebells. And yeah, I mean, I'm hardly know what to do because I'm like going, yeah, they're pretty and stuff, but I don't necessarily want to. I would much rather have my lavender and rosemary take over the area, but if bluebells is the thing, I guess I could transplant them to the backyard maybe. But, you know, hey, we'll see. So here we have Mr. Anthurium, who looks like this, in case you didn't see last month's one, because I took him outside so the cat wouldn't get to him. Then I realized the cat doesn't, again, Spartan Kitty doesn't care about the plants at all, and can't actually even jump up to where they're at. So I brought him back inside, but too late. The frost's already got him, and now he's dead. I had to get rid of him altogether. He is gone, unfortunately. So sad. Yep, he went from this to being even worse, and I held out hope for a long time until I finally just got rid of him, because he just was not looking any better. So sad. Yep. Amazing how fast it happened. It was 3 days, outside for 3 days, and it killed him that fast. Just goes to show how important the environment is. It doesn't take very long at all for one to die. So here is my Platycodon, my wild chamomile, and they have changed so much since then. Oh my gosh, this is what it is now. Well, the Platycodon hasn't changed, but the Platycodon shouldn't change. I don't expect the Platycodon to really start popping up until at least May, June. It was that long. It was that time that he started coming out before, but the wild chamomile has certainly taken off. The ones on the right are the new ones that I planted in there earlier this month. I noticed that the one was coming out, but the rest weren't, so I planted a couple more seeds, and so to help fill it out, and yeah. Lots of the new seeds popping up. It's looking fantastic. We're going to have chamomile very soon. Oh yeah. Woohoo! Wild chamomile looking good, baby. So that's going to go in some tea, I'm sure. We love chamomile tea here. Looking good. I'm going to try and bring up my comments on my phone so I can see if you guys are saying anything about what's going on with the video. And here, yeah, these guys, I put a lot of these fly strips out, and they have been very successful. Look at all the bugs we got. Yeah, no more bugs. No more bugs. But yeah, all these little gnats and flies that tend to terrorize my plants. I get these guys a lot, and you guys may very well too. But yeah, these yellow strips, I love them, man. They have been really killer for me. Literally. Taking out those bugs. And actually taking out a lot of the moths too. Sorry, moths, you're in the wrong place. But here is my Amaryllis. The interesting thing is, I don't think I'm going to get a flower this year for the very first time. This is its 4th year, and I think it's the first time I'm not going to get a flower because there is no flower stalk in here. Usually by this time, I have a flower stalk growing very big. And when I pulled them out, I thought it was going to be fine, and a flower stalk would be coming out, but I got 5 leaves. And look in there, there's no no flower stalk. It's at this point, I think it's pretty much, you know, 100% that it's not going to happen. So that's a bit of a surprise, but it's not uncommon. I mean, Amaryllis do go dormant, you know, once every couple of years, and no matter what you do, it isn't a guarantee you're going to get a flower every year. So even when you do everything right, it isn't necessarily going to happen. So moving on, this is a store-bought basil that I used for propagation. You're going to see that really soon. I cut off a lot of these stems and I put them in some water, and I'm probably just going to use the rest of this up for food. And it's looking okay. I mean, it was actually looking a bit droopy before I watered it. And this is after I water it. And it's looking a lot better now, thankfully. Very happy about that. And this guy here is my ginger. I propagated some ginger and it's hiding under here. So hopefully it will actually turn into a ginger plant for me. Woohoo! But he definitely needs some water. You can see around the edges how the soil is pulling away from the edge of the pot. You can use a soil meter, of course, to back things up, but it generally means that it's starting to get dry. So you can double check it, but every time you see that, it definitely means, yes, it's getting dry. Haha! More dead bugs. Die, you bugs! Urgh. No bugs here. Woohoo! Yes, sir. So, here's some more before photos of my basils. Woohoo! Look at that. It was just starting last month on these two. And over here, the other guys, the other basils, the red Reuben basil, the Italian basil, barely started. And guess what? That's who's behind me now. All these guys right here. So the lemon basil. Look at that. Ooh. I just put on a rotisserie there. Lemon basil looking mighty good. Yeah. Check it out. Pretty tall. About a little over an inch. Very nice. I am having a hard time actually getting my comments up on my phone. There we go. I think I found it now. There he is. Okay. So, let's check up on any comments that you guys have been saying here. So, Nix Pix is in the house. Hi, Nix Pix. How you doing? Woohoo! You sell some bluebells or give it to friends or neighbors? Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, maybe just sell some of the bluebells, give them away. Let me see here. Rex George. Howdy, my friend. Good to see you. GLG says, just don't want the pets getting into the yellow bug paper. Yeah, that would be bad. But like I said, Spartan Kitty here, Tolkien doesn't really mess with anything. He does his thing. He doesn't, you know, pick on lots of... I mean, he's an older cat, and he, I think, has already learned his lesson about all those things. Yeah. Nix Pick says, getting a flower or on a 10-year-old plant that I hadn't flowered in 2 years. Yeah, see? Plants are like that. Sometimes they'll just go dormant for a while, rebuild themselves, and then boom, do it again. You know, what I might do this year with the Amaryllis is, because it didn't flower, I might just go and do a full repot on it and give it some brand new soil so it gets even more nutrients. What I did this year is what I've done the last couple of years, which is I just take off the top layer, like the top inch or so, and put some new soil in there with that. But apparently that wasn't enough. Hey, that's okay. No big deal. Yeah. You know, that's part of what happens. But let's keep going with these guys. Check out the red Reuben basil. Look at that. Super long. Woo! Red Reuben basil, baby. We're getting some big ones. That's a tall one. Look how big that is. But yeah, I got a bunch of stalks here. Come next month, I'm definitely going to have to I'm going to get to the point where I probably can start cutting that guy back for sure. He's got a really long stalk. All four of these guys have done well and are bringing out lots of stuff. This is the Italian basil. Look at that. Big leaves coming out. Woo! It's only got the 4 stalks, so I might like do something where I put another couple seeds in here if I want to get some more going. But really, you know, 5 stalks. 5 stalks is, you know, enough for a bowl of this size. I could just continue to let it grow nice and big and use that extra soil, just go right into those stems. So it's like, even though it's a little uneven, for that size of pot, really that's going to be fine, I think. I don't need to put any extras in there. Same with this one. This is the Thai basil, where I probably can actually up pot him before too long. He's got, you know, pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stems. He's got 6 stems on this one. And I think on this guy, if anything, I will just repot him up and get a bigger pot for him so he can grow nice and big. But yeah, that's all the basils that are up here. This is the basil area. Basiltown. Basiltown, USA. And yeah, I think that's what's going to happen here. Is I think a couple of these guys in the smaller pots. You have to upsize the pots if you want them to get any size at all. At the most, generally, what I expect to have happen is the pot size. I expect it to kind of double that pot size. So it's like if I want it to get any bigger, I need to get a bigger pot. Otherwise, if I'm happy with them just being that size, so if the pot's this big, if they get about this tall, then I could just be happy with that and stop there and just keep, you know, cutting them off and using them as I go along. That can be just fine. But yeah, it's up to you. You know, that's, you know, I'll just have to see what happens and figure out what I want. So, hey, Urban Garden Girl, good to see ya. Welcome. Woohoo. Nick's Pick says, that's what we did. We found extra bulbs and got like 4 plants out of it. Yeah. Yeah, propagating's fun. I love propagating. And I love doing the water propagation when it comes to herbs especially. It's I find there's certain ones that they say are definitely better to do as propagation. And basil is one that you can easily grow from seeds, but it also is very easy to propagate. So if you're like unsure about starting it from seed, you can easily just grab a plant from someone else or from, you know, a store and propagate off of that. One that I've been doing from seed, but I could very well just go, hey, let me just propagate, is sage, because sage is very weather sensitive. And both of my sages coming up, you're going to see, aren't doing that good. In fact, let's go to the Spanish sage here. The Spanish sage is one of the first ones here. Actually, I got to hit play again, don't we? So this is the before photos really quick on the cinnamon basil, which is downstairs, the Spanish sage, the catnip, the tarragon, the dill. All had just gotten started last month, and we're showing lots of signs. Yep. The dill was looking the biggest at the time. And even the oregano was showing really good signs. But man, what a difference a month makes, because these guys have gotten big. Look at that. That's the tarragon. So the ones on the right, the really big ones, were the 2 that had just started in that last photo. And these ones on the left are ones that I reseeded later in the month. So they're a little bit newer. But yeah, there's tons in there now. I'm going to actually, what I have to do on this one is I'm probably just going to cut some of these out so there's a little more space for the bigger ones to grow. Actually, this is move the tarragon over to where the cilantro is. So this is where the cilantro, coriander is at now. Look at that. He has taken off. He's been so happy in this window. He's huge. Fantastic. I love it. Oh yeah. And this, I love coriander. I'm very happy to be doing the coriander videos right now because it's definitely one of my favorite herbs. I love having coriander. I have no problems with getting buggy on it at all. I know some people have that problem with the smell and the taste. It's not me though. I love this stuff. And this guy's looking fantastic. This was a store-bought rosemary, so I don't expect it to do too much. I'm more just using it for tea and food. But he's looking okay. He's got some new growth hiding up there. And here is the propagated basil I was talking about. Yeah, I just take off these stems and I put them in a cup and so far they don't have, I looked in there and they don't really have any tendrils growing yet, but they haven't been in there very long. So, you know, come next month, I'm sure I'll be planting these guys again. But over here is the sage. And that's it. Yeah, see that little bit? That's all the Spanish sage I have so far. It's that one little guy. Yeah, so sage is a real tough grower. A very slow grower. It's very sensitive to the elements. The one outside, which I'll show you in a little bit, same kind of thing, where it's not really growing. And that's partly because the cold snap we had. So here's where the cilantro was at last month. I kind of got these backwards. Oops. Yeah, that's how fast the cilantro grew. I mean, went from that to that big in, you know, just about a month or less. So that's amazing to me, just how fast that cilantro grows. He is the fastest grower out of everybody. So here's the other guys I showed you the before photos on. Look at these guys. All looking big, all looking good. I sneak over here to the oregano first. There we are. Okay, now the oregano, I actually, after this, clipped some of these guys out already because, yeah, you can see there's a huge conglomeration of like 20 different stalks in this little area, and that's just way too many. So I took a lot of these out, and it actually tastes really good right now, even when it's small. Yeah, and I just ate those little bits. But yeah, he needed to be cut back. The dill, on the other hand, is fine where it's at. It's got, you know, getting much bigger, and he's still like a little limp. I would like them to be a little bit stronger, I think, but they're still doing good. Still looking very nice. The catmint or catnip, it's doing very good. So the one big one there on the top side is the one that started growing first, and then I put some new seeds in as well. And the new seeds did even better after things had gotten warmer in here. So yeah, I'm very happy, and I'm waiting to see what Tolkien's going to do with this guy. I'm very excited about that to see, because I know he likes catnip. He's got his little catnip toy that we give him, and he does like that. So here's the cinnamon basil. I've never had a problem growing cinnamon basil myself. I know some people do, but yeah, this guy is looking great. Again, 5 stalks, perfect for a size of pot like this. It's gonna grow nice and big. It's gonna look fantastic. I'm gonna get lots of good tasty tea and other things out of this guy. Oh yeah, cinnamon basil, great in tea, great herbal tea. Whereas regular basil, not so much. And then chives. Where's my chives? I usually don't have a problem growing chives, but these chives, for some reason, not taking off. Okay, so let's move on to the orchids. So Fred's already gone, my miniature orchid, and George is heading very much the same way. And, you know, it's one of those things that sometimes plants just die and there's nothing you can do about it. Especially orchids, sometimes they only have a certain lifespan and they can only go so long. Some orchids, excuse me, can go like 20, 30 years. I mean, and they go forever. But others, like the mini Phalaenopsis, which is what the Fred and George were, they don't necessarily last as long sometimes. And these ones, like I said before, were diseased when I got them. They, you know, had all kinds of black spots and diseased roots on them. And it was amazing that I was, I think, able to keep them alive as long as I did, really. I mean, I had them both almost 10 years. So really, I think that was a good achievement as far as I'm concerned. I was very happy about that. Let's check some comments before we talk about the rest of these guys. Rex George says it's been cold. Yeah, it is. We've had some really weird cold snaps here, which is what's really hampered the outdoor garden. And I'll talk about that when I get there in a minute. Weird Heather's Garden. Hello, good to see you. Said she got chive flowers just budding on hers from last year. Ooh, nice. Very nice. Rex George said sage likes company. Yeah, plant sage with some other comparable ones to help it grow better. That's a good way to do it. Okay. See you later, Nick's Picks. Has to go get her kid. Bye. Go get your kid. And GLG says maybe they didn't like the move and change in sunlight. Yeah, that's always a possibility too. You know, that happens sometimes. And that is exactly what's happened with this guy. The move. You see these two dead leaves. This is actually a natural thing, but part of it is also due to where he was in the house. I talk about this in another video, the optimal conditions for Phalaenopsis orchids. And you can see here on this one leaf, I'm going to get a better shot of it in a second, that he's got a little circle, a burnt looking circle on him. And he's starting to lose more of his flowers, which is natural. He's had them for a long time. It's actually a normal speed for that to happen. Ginny tends to keep her flowers quite a long time. And most of them are still looking very good. And she just lost another one like yesterday. So yeah, but you can see the rest of them looking great. But I'm going to come over here now and show you this one leaf. So this guy here, you see that one leaf? We got a new one coming in, which is great. He's going to replace those other ones who are dying, and they'll probably have another one not too long after that. But in the window downstairs, there one of it has that warped glass. Like, if there's a name for it, I've totally forgot what it is. And that glass was basically kind of making a little bit of a magnifying glass effect on the orchid and was burning him. And so I had to move him over to where he's at now because he was just getting burnt. And yeah, that's why that happened. That's why the other two leaves died as well, I think. And you can see you see how they're those. You can see that is exactly what happens when you have light damage. You see how it's bigger and it kind of moves down because as the sun moves and that light spot of the magnifying glass is moving it, it is burning it as it goes along there. Yeah. So he moved, and since then he's been much happier. And this leaf, well, I'm sure will go bye-bye before too long as well. But yeah, I got him out of there, and I need to cull some of these dead roots back as well. But overall, he's very happy with this new spot. The cat doesn't use the cat tree right now, so the orchid is. Right below him is the Tulsi basil. So after this shot, I actually took the covering off because you could see here, there's a couple of them that are getting right at the top. They're very, very close to touching, or if they are not touching, they're about to touch that cellophane wrap. And so I got rid of the wrap because that's the rule. Basically, you cover it with the wrap to keep the moisture in and create a bit of a terrarium effect until the herbs grow big enough to actually touch that, and then you get rid of it, and then they're fine. Weird Heather's Garden says obscure glass. Yeah, I think that is the name of it, obscure glass. So, outside! We got some friends hanging outside in the flowers. A little snail friend. I got lots of little spider friends and some ant friends as well. Yep, there they are, doing their thing. Now, as long as I'm not beset by snails, I don't mind a snail or two hanging out in the garden. I do mind slugs a lot more. The snails aren't as much of a problem, especially because this is just a wild flower planter. You can see the wild flowers that I planted last month are starting to come out. Some of the rest of these, the bigger ones are more volunteer plants that I just left in there to see what they would become. Just because for fun, you know, as you do. But the other ones, yeah, the ones I planted in there are starting to grow as well. But yeah, Mr. Snail, you know, we'll see if this plants start looking ugly. I'll take him out of there and put him somewhere else. But at the moment, I'm not too worried about him being there. You got some ants in there that, you know, if I leave them too long could be a problem. But that's just a volunteer plant. I'm not too worried about them messing with him. Check out this guy. He's got his buds coming out. Look how cute those are. Yeah, I got the name of this guy not too long ago on my plant app, and I totally buzzed it because it's a weird name. Maybe I can try and bring it up again. I don't know if I have a history thing on here. says unknown species. Okay, I know I logged it, but I've totally lost it, so I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's like, it's called like an ethno something. I can't remember what it is off the top. I'm sorry. Me and my names, the Latin names don't stick in my head very well. But here's the other planters. There's nothing really planted in here at the moment. I just put some slug repellent to keep the slugs away. And this is just going to be another wildflower, so I don't mind putting the slug repellent right in there. And I'll put some stuff in there soon. But here's the lemongrass, or the not lemongrass. The cold snap killed this guy. None of the seeds took off at all because of the cold snaps we had. Those two planters, I'm not even going to worry about getting them in focus because there's nothing in there. And then here we have the cornflower, which it looks like I've got several of them coming out very nicely. Yeah, very happy about that. The cornflower's doing good. And yeah, thanks Candy's Garden. Yeah, it is a very beautiful blue plant. I'll have to remember the name next time and give it to you guys. But the lavender, he was after the cold snaps. We've had a long period of really warm weather until we finally got some rain the last few days, and he was actually looking rather withered until I gave him some good water. I try not to water the outdoor ones much at all, except for when we have these longer snaps. But here in England, we don't get long periods without rain very often, so it was like one of those ones where I was like, I took longer than I needed to before watering them again, just because it's so surprising not to have rain here, you know? And you kind of forget sometimes that it's like, yeah, it's not raining and it's not supposed to rain for another few days. You better water these guys. They need it. And we'll skip right past them. So here's the sage. There's this one little bud in here, which I don't think actually is even sage. I think it's another plant that hopped in there. None of the sage took off. Again, I think because of the cold snaps. And there is another little one in there that might be one of the sage ones that I replanted. But yeah, it may just have to be that I wait until May for him to take off. Another snail. Hanging out with the jalapenos. I don't know, I just find snails cute, so I say live and let live in my garden, you know. And then unless they are really overwhelming my plants, then I'll, rehome them. But here's the lily. So there may be something I have to rehome here, because you'll see in a second here. Hopefully we'll get some flowers this year, but because I got lots of stalks coming out for sure. But that happened last year as well, and I didn't actually get flowers last year. I did the 2 previous years. So hopefully I will get some flowers here. But you can see a couple of these leaves over here actually have some holes that look like some buggy thing has been eating on them, possibly. And yeah, hopefully it doesn't get too bad. If so, I will definitely have to look at treating this guy and take care of that problem. No bugs eating the plants allowed. Sorry. Unless they're only just taking a small snippet. That's all. You're allowed a little bit, not too much. Here's the peppermint. Or what's supposed to be peppermint. It's looking quite white, oddly enough. He hasn't gained his color yet. He really hasn't taken off yet. Again, it could be because of the cold. And once things, fully warm up, he might take off. But it's mint. I have no worries about him, recovering and taking off again. Mint is very, very hardy. And the root system is still strong. And he still is getting growth. So I am not worried about this plant recovering and regaining his color and taking off again. So, yeah, it looks a bit ugly at the moment, but I'm not too worried about him recovering at this point. The other mints look fantastic. The chocolate mint has started off a little bit slow. You can see he's been beset by some of those little fly bugs, some of those little gnats. But the spearmint is absolutely fantastic. His stalks are all growing huge, looking wonderful. In fact, so I need to start cutting some of these back. They're getting so big. This one on the end especially. I mean, looks like the spiders have been, running a few wires on him there at the end there. I got to get some of that off. And I got to clean that off before I eat it, that's for sure, because it's been outside. But he's looking great. The marjoram, doing good as well up here. Hasn't gotten much growth yet, but looks okay. And this is the keiki that I took off of the bigger aloe, which you'll see in a minute, and he's growing really well. Here's more dead bugs. Hooray! So yeah, I was noticing outside here I had a lot of these little bugs starting to take over these plants. Especially this guy. You see here, you get a nice close-up here. You see all those little spots? That's not variegation, that's from the bugs. That's not supposed to happen. So yeah, that's why I put the yellow strips out there, and I was going to actually treat these guys with some neem oil as well, because yeah, the bugs started biting up on my lavender, on my thyme, and I don't like that. No mini bugs taking by those guys. So the hyssop, again, same problem. It's been so dry, I haven't watered the hyssop enough. I thought with the rain that happened the other day, he would get lots of water, but apparently the rain didn't actually get to this shelf. So both the thyme and the hyssop didn't get any water. That's why they look so dry and ugly. So I watered them today, and he should recover just fine. But yeah, it's so sad because he's been looking so fabulous. And suddenly I go out today and he's like, why? What have you done to me? So yeah, very sad. Weird Heather's Garden says, oh, I love the smell of mint. Oh, that's the end of it. That's the end of the video. Woo! Whenever you brush against it in the garden. Yeah, I love mint too. It's, one of my favorite along with the basil and the coriander and cilantro. Yeah, I'm a big mint fan. And so that's why I grow lots of different varietals of it as well. But yeah, that's my indoor-outdoor garden update. How everybody is doing. Lots of, as you can see from last month, lots of big growth. Doing really good. Next plan is we're going to get lots of rain supposedly over the next week, which will help the outdoor plants a lot. But I need to start looking at doing a bit of planning for what I'm going to do with the outdoor ones, because the main plan for the ones I haven't planted outdoors is to try and do some vegetables out there. So I'm going to plant some garlic in one, and we got some squash seeds and some other things as well. But it's just, I was trying to hold off on the squash because we wanted to kind of have a little bit of a Halloween squash action. But I do want to start using those planters ASAP. Otherwise, yeah, I'm very happy with where everybody's at. They're looking great. I got lots of good ones here. And all I can say is, yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think everything's looking good? Anything else I should do different or better? I'm always up to ideas and thoughts. I think the one thing I haven't done this year as much has been doing as much plant food. I've been a little bit more sparse with that this year. So I actually do need to be a little bit more coming up a bit more, not so much aggressive, but a bit more consistent with, okay, it's the first of the week of the month. It's time to give them their plant food. Whereas I've been a little bit lax with that the first couple of weeks, because you don't have to give them as much when they're first starting off. But I do like to get them on a schedule, just like the orchids are, where once a month I give them plant food. And so they are getting a consistent amount of nutrients in every month. And it definitely helps them keep growing well and get bigger faster. So yeah, I'm very happy with my herbs so far. Okay, Candy says, please mention the name of the plant in the comments once you go and find it out again. I will definitely do that. In fact, I should see if I can do the plant app thing again right now and get it to come up. Because I did do a photo of it, and I should be able to get that name to come up again. Ching-a-ching-a-ching-a-ching. Oh, that's not the one. There it is. Oh, that's the one that they gave me. Gallery. Where's the one that I actually took? No, is that it? Is it based off of this one? So let's see what they say. Oh, okay. Ceanothus. Santa Barbara ceanothus. It's a Santa Barbara ceanothus. Blah. That took entirely too long. Yeah, so that's why it's hard for me. Ceanothus. It sounds like some kind of, Neolithic era kind of name, from the crustacean era? No. It sounds like, some old school kind of dinosaur era name. And so, that's the, supposedly the Ceanothus impressus, or Santa Barbara ceanothus, is what it's supposed to be called. Actually, it's spelt like this. Ceanothus. Ceanothus. There you go. But that's it. That's my live stream today. Thanks for joining me. So hopefully next up, very soon, you're gonna see my next video. Yeah, it's been crazy, which is why I probably don't have as many people on the live stream today, as I haven't been very consistent with them lately. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm trying to get back on it more consistently, but yeah, it's, things have been busy, and I've tried to just enjoy my life. And while I am trying to continue growing my YouTube channel, I have been taking mental health days because the lockdown has been getting to me, and I needed some time and space. As much as I still have been working on the channel and growing it, I just needed some time to be like, no, it's okay not to post this week. Sorry, YouTube, but yes, I need a break. I don't care if my number is going to fall for a little bit of time. I need the time. So, yes, I'm back on it now, and you're going to get my videos for the mythology of ginger and the history of ginger very soon. And one's going to come out next week, and the other one following right after that, I'm sure. And I'm trying to keep doing live streams for you. So, that's all I got for you. You guys go enjoy your day. Have a wonderful evening. So good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time. Centric Nature, heading out the door. Woo!